Hello, I'm here today to review for you a leather holster made by Outbags. What an odd name for a brand. Anyway, this particular model is made for the Springfield XDS 3.3 inch, but they do make holsters for other firearms as well, and most of what I have to say about it should apply across the line, as they seem to be design choices rather than something specific with its compatibility with this particular handgun. Now, just some background, since this is a topic I don't personally think just anyone can give advice on. I'm a certified firearms instructor and I take firearm training very seriously, and I conceal carry for long hours almost every day, so I feel I can give you an honest and informed opinion on this holster. To describe it, it's an open top outside the waistband leather holster that holds the firearm at a can. Some might ask why I didn't go for an inside the waistband holster for concealment, and the answer is that it requires too many changes. For me, to carry an inside the waistband holster, I would have to buy new pants, as it does require a larger waist size pants to comfortably carry inside the waistband. Second is that I do sometimes go back and forth between places where I can carry and where I can't. After removing the firearm from inside the waistband would often leave my pants too loose. Tightening up my belt over it would just cause uncomfortable bunching of the waistband material of the pants. Now, I already know what criticism I'll draw for this reasoning. Oh, you care more about comfort than security. No, I do not. The one thing that some people don't think about is just how important comfort really is to security. When I am instructing and I get asked what firearm I recommend, my answer is always the same. Get what you're competent with and comfortable with. The reason? If you're not comfortable with it, you're less likely to bring it. And any gun you have with you is more efficient than one you left at home. So yes, comfort is absolutely important to conceal carry. Those who tell you otherwise likely have very little experience. Now, there are comfortable inside the waistband holsters out there. I have one that fits a full-size 1911 comfortably inside the waistband. The problem with it? Cost. I found that the only comfortable inside the waistband holsters out there are also very expensive. For this reason, and the reason above about the compromises you have to do with pants and belt sizes, I prefer outside the waistband holsters a lot more, as they work with any pants and belt you already have. Obviously, if you need to wear a shirt tucked in, this won't be an option, but that's for another discussion. About this holster, the official Amazon listing for it lists it as an open carry holster. And for open carry, I don't see a problem with it. However, if you're hoping to use it for concealment, I say get something else. And I'm fairly certain the majority of people who purchased this holster intended it for concealed carry. While open carry is legal in some states, I think a good percentage of people would rather to stay concealed anyway, as it's better to have something up your sleeve than to have all of your cards out on the table when it comes to your personal security. Quality wise, I find that it actually seems to be of very high quality for the price you pay. This holster is in the $30 to $35 range, which, to be quite honest, is a great price for a leather holster. The one I would recommend over this one in terms of concealment costs about $50, but if concealment is your primary concern, it's definitely the better choice despite the price bump. The stitching on this holster is very good. It's very even, and they use what looks like pretty thick and sturdy stitching material. They stitch all around the belt loops, which is a must when shopping for a leather holster like this. So no complaints there in the build quality on the back and belt loop part. This part is also quite thick, so I don't see this warping or sagging or anything anytime soon. But onto where the gun is molded into the holster, this is where the problems start. I find that the leather on this side, especially right at the opening, is too thin. Or maybe they didn't treat it like the more expensive holsters I've used to make it more rigid. Here is a leather holster made by Don Hume. Notice how flimsy this looks compared to how it looks on the Don Hume. The problem here is that this part sags inwards when the firearm isn't holstered. It actually makes it so reholstering the firearm requires digging the muzzle in first before straightening it. This actually presents a fairly serious safety risk, as you're basically pointing the firearm straight into your thigh when you go to reholster this firearm. This sagging actually makes it so the only safe way to holster a firearm is while the holster is not attached to your body. Not acceptable. The other part of this is how instead of being molded on both sides of the holster, the firearm is only molded on one side, while the side that faces your body remains flat. In such a way, basically 100% of the firearm's width, plus the thickness of the leather, is pushed straight out. No amount of tightening of the belt would change this because all you're doing is pushing the flat side tighter to your body. Look again at a comparison between this holster and the Don Hume. Notice the Don Hume molds the firearm onto both sides. So while holstered in comparison to where it attaches to the belt, the firearm is kind of in the middle, while with the Outbags, the firearm is completely off to one side. This actually results in excessive printing on your shirt, meaning when you put your shirt over it, parts of the firearm shape can be seen from the outside of the shirt. To put it in perspective, this Don Hume holster holding this full-size firearm conceals better than this Outbags holster holding this ultra-compact firearm. Now that's not to say that you absolutely cannot use this holster for concealed carry. Remember that different body types conceal firearms differently. Also that even if the gun prints on the shirt a bit, honestly, most people would not know what it is. The media and our public school systems have done such a good job at making the topic of firearms so taboo that the idea that a nice guy or girl you meet somewhere could very well be legally armed while you're shaking his or her hand doesn't even cross most people's minds. So even if they see something printing from underneath your shirt, they will likely not think anything of it, or think it's a phone holster or something else. Does that make me more comfortable with using this holster for everyday concealed carry? No, not really, but that's personal choice. Other than that, the molding is done pretty well and it holds the firearm fairly well. Like all leather holsters, it will be quite tight in the beginning and will begin to loosen up as you continue to use it. So in conclusion, if you are in a state where open carry is legal and your intention is to carry your firearm open carried, then I say this holster is okay. The issue with the opening sagging, forcing you to use the muzzle of the firearm to open it fully before you can holster it, would be the major drawback with this holster, even for open carry. If you intend to conceal carry and you're looking for a leather holster for that purpose, I definitely recommend you look elsewhere. Don Hume is a brand I've used for well over a decade now, and their products have always been very high quality. I would definitely recommend you get a Don Hume instead, even if it means paying more. I will have to sadly give this holster only 2 fingers up. While the quality of the materials and stitching seem good for the money, the limited usability of it and the completely unacceptable safety issue it poses for reholstering your firearm is what brings it down to such a low rating. Thank you for watching this video, and I really hope that you found it informative. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, and make sure to comment any kind of suggestions or criticisms you might have down in the comment section below. Thank you, and take it easy.